So, hello friend, welcome to my channel. So, today now I am going to discuss about lecture 3 of analytical chemistry. Other two lectures I have uploaded. Please go and see two lectures, and after that you see this lecture. So this lecture 3 is very important in exam point of view. So before start my lectures, so first I request to all of you, if you not subscribe my channel, so please subscribe to my channel and like, share with your friends and click the bell icon so that you can get easily notification. Okay, now I start. So in the lecture 3, basically I will discuss instrumental technique. So this technique is basically based through spectroscopy technique, spectroscopy based technique, and inside this technique we study the atomic absorption spectroscopy and atomic emission spectroscopy. Okay, so what is atomic absorption spectroscopy? So it is basically the when of free atoms which is present in your sample in a ground state, when it absorbs energy. There are several atoms which present in your samples which are stable in ground state, and after absorb this H nu photon lights, it goes to higher excited state, E2 states, and this process is known as absorption process. And because of this, and here creates holes and here form electrons. Okay, so due to this less stables of these atoms in excited state, it will not stay too much longer, so its possibility to come again in ground state. So other things I will discuss in atomic emission spectroscopy. So second step will tell you emissions. So first I will discuss the absorptions. So absorptions, when a free atoms whose lies in ground states absorbs photon lights of certain wavelengths, then atom will go into the excited state, and these types of spectra will you see. Here in x-axis is wavelength and y-axis absorption or optical density, and here if you see, here is the lower wavelength, higher energy, you providing higher energy, but here if you see higher wavelength, lower absorption your optical density value, because as we know, the energy is inversely proportional to lambda. Okay, if higher the energy, then lower will be the wavelengths. So these are the actual process atomic absorption spectroscopy. So through this technique, Beer-Lombard law also taking a roles. Beer-Lombard law, this curve is straight lines, and this absorption is equal to minus log of T is R is equal to epsilon CL. I am giving some general introduction where this epsilon is proportionality constant, and here is two dependent relation is comes through the Beer-Lombard law. Absorption is always proportional to the concentration, and also cuvette length or path length of rays. So what is the applications? So note, through this technique we can determine the concentration which is present in the sample. Okay, another point, determination of metallic atom in a food industry. So through this technique we can determine the detect the metallic element, and which types of radiation here we used. So basically hollow cathode lamp here used, and deuterium lamp also used. So this is the basic introduction of atomic absorption spectroscopy. Now I will discuss Beer-Lombard law. So what is Beer-Lombard law? It is basically the absorption is directly proportional to concentration, as I told earlier. So here absorption is equal to epsilon CL is equal to log of I0 upon I. Here I0 is the incident frequency or incident intensity, and I is transmitted intensity of lights. So L is the length of light path through the cuvette or cells. Epsilon is the absorption coefficient or extinction coefficients. Unit is liter mole inverse centimeter inverse. You can find this unit from here also. If we take this A is equal to epsilon CL, then epsilon is equal to A upon C into L. So absorption is a unitless quantity, then concentration is mole per liter, and length is centimeter, then you will get this unit. Okay, you will get this unit. So if we see this diagram, this is the actual process of Beer-Lombard law. So here if you see, this is the source. If light is monochromatic light is going this through this monochromators, and after a particular wavelength of light incident through the samples, your cuvette samples of I0 intensity, and it transmitted to I light intensity and detect the sample, then you will get the graph. So Here if 100% light is incident on the sample, so we can't say surely you will not get 100% transmitted light. So some light absorbs by this cuvette sample, means in your cuvette sample sample will absorb the lights. So net absorption intensity you will get I0 minus I. So if see this derivation, so what Lambert said, the decrease in intensity proportional to I of transmitted intensity, decrease of transmitted intensity with respect to length is proportional to I, and Beer's law says that this decrease in intensity also depends concentration. So after combine these two laws, we will get the minus di by dl proportional to IC, and after manipulating this thing and integrate from I0 to I, then and epsilon, here after removing proportionality we will get epsilon C dl. So integrate, we will get log of I limit I0 to I epsilon CL. So after applying limits and solving, you will get this formula, minus log of I upon I0 is equal to epsilon CL. Okay, so some important formula you should remember always when you are going to solve the problem. Okay, so first formula I derived here, absorption is equal to minus log of I, means transmitted intensity upon incident intensity, which is equal to also I upon I0 10 to the power minus a, means here basically you have to okay, so you can write also in this way. So second formula, transmitted is equal to the transmitted intensity upon incident intensity. So this is transmitted, and then absorption is equal to, as we know, absorption is equal to minus log of base 10 is equal to I upon I0. So here we put T in place of this. So this relation in terms of transmitted. Okay, so after removing this minus, you can write this way, 1 upon T transmission, and or we can write in percentage form, absorption equal to percentage 2 minus log of percentage of T transmission. So this formula is also important. So basically from this Beer-Lambert law we get the plot absorption versus concentration straight line, but when we see the graph transmitted versus concentration, you will get the decay curve. Transmission decreases with increase the concentration. And you will also get the some deviation curve also, absorption versus concentration. This is for ideal case, if there is no deviation happened in your samples, and this is for negative deviation, this is for positive deviation. So for avoid the deviation, Beer-Lumber deviation, so what you should keep point in your mind during doing the experiment. Okay, for getting the ideal straight line. So electromagnetic radiation should be monochromatic, means your this coming light, this incident light should be monochromatic, and light beam should not be scattered, means your light beam should not be scattered, and solution should be diluted. Not concentration. So otherwise you will get the positive or negative deviation if you are not following these 3 points. So when will you get negative deviation? When the high concentration you are using solute interaction or solvent interaction or hydrogen bonding, then you will get the negative deviation. And some chemically effect, some deviation you will get through chemical effects like complex form, dissociation, association, and precipitation, polymerization. So through this chemical effect you will get the also deviation. As I told, negative deviation comes when the measured absorptions value are more than the expected value. So this is the ideal value. If measured value is coming the expected this value higher than, then you will get the positive deviation. If measured value, absorption measured value is getting lower that of this ideal value, you will get negative deviation. Okay. So now I move to problem. See the problems. So this problem came 2013 June, net exams, 4 marks. So what is problem says? This problem says the 0.1 mole solution of compound A shows 50% transmittance when a cell of 1 centimeter width is used at lambda 1 wavelength nanometer. Another 0.1 molar solution of compound B gives the optical density value of 0.1761 using 1 centimeter cell at lambda 1 nanometer. What will be the transmission of the solution? Means here this question asking the transmittance of the solution that is simultaneously of 0.1 molar in A and 0.1 molar in B using the same cell and at the same wavelength. So here given data, some given a log 50 is equal to 1.699, So how to solve this problem? So first of all, in solution A, given data C is given 0.1 molar concentration, transmission is given 50% transmission, and cuvette length is given 1 centimeters here. So after using this data and giving wavelength also L1 lambda 1, so first we find the absorptions. So using this formula, absorption is equal to, because I used transmitted, so we will apply the formula related transmitted. So absorption is equal to 2 minus log of percentage of T. So here given is 50%, so you should put 50 directly here, because this formula in terms of percentage 2 minus log of 50. So 2 minus log of 50 value, 50's value is 1.699. So after solving this, you will get the absorptions. This is absorption 0.1761. Sorry, this is given absorption, so you will get this absorption. Here, sorry, this is given for solution B, so you will get, after solving this, you will get this absorption. So you will get this absorption value. Okay, now I move to solution B. So solution B is these three data is given: concentration, absorption, and path length of cuvette is same, and lambda is also same. So here also we calculate the transmission, because here we need transmission. So how to calculate after by using the first data? So simultaneously solution of A and B are, so adding here I calculated absorption, and here from B solution calculate given absorption. So simultaneously solution of A, after adding this both absorption, you will get total absorptions. So you will now easily find the transmittance by using this formula. Okay, so you will get transmittance, percentage transmittance 33.33%. Okay, so here is asking the transmittance, so you will get transmittance is 33.33%. Now we move to second question. This question came December 2014, 4 marks. So question is saying, which of the following will result in deviation from Beer-Lambert's law? So as I told, which statement gives the Beer-Lambert deviation. So change in refractive index of medium is also affect your Beer-Lambert law, affect your deviation, and dissociation of analyte on the dilution also affect, and polychromatic light, if your light source giving polychromatic light, then also deviation will happen. So first, second and third statement giving your deviation. So A, B, C, so statement So option first is correct. Now we move to third question. So third question is very important. So what it says? So it says that the intensity, this 2 marks question, it came June 2015 from part B. The intensity of a light beam decreases by 50% when it passes through a sample, means cubed sample of path length is 1 centimeter, and the percentage of transmittance of the light passing through the percentage transmitted. In this question asking the percentage transmittance of light passing through the same sample, but the here change the path length 3 centimeters. So what will be the transmittance when we'll change the path length? So here is the diagram. Here your light source I0 intensity is coming. This is cubed R cells. Here already given path length is 1 centimeter, and this is I transmitted intensity become 50%, and this is the detector. So if you consider case 1, so what is given? Transmitter is given 50%, and case 2, transmitters you have to determine and given length L 3 centimeter. So finally you have to calculate the transmittance for case 2 when you use the path length 3. So as we know this formula, absorption is equal to minus log of I upon I0. We can write also minus log of T. So okay, as we know absorption is equal to epsilon CL minus log of T, and where this epsilon is constant. So basically here and L is also constant, L is not constant, C is constant. Okay, so L is vary because here path length, first case path length 1, second case path length 3, so L is vary, so it depends on L. Okay, so here we will write like this: minus log of T upon minus log of T2 is equal to L1 upon L2. So here plus minus cancel out, and you have to find out T2. Okay, so after manipulating these things, log of 2 upon log of T1, L2 upon L1, so you transfer this log T1 to right side, because you have to calculate the T2. So L2 upon L1 into log of T1. So L2 is given 3 centimeter, L1 is given 1 centimeter, log of 50. Here this formula is not in percentage, so log of T1 50% is given, so you have to put 50 upon 100. Okay, so you will get 3 log of 0.5, log T 10 T2 10 base 3 into log of 0.5 is equal to minus 0.3010. So after multiplies you will get minus 0.9030. Okay, So after taking anti-log, you will get T2 is equal to 10 to power minus 0.9030, and then after solving this thing you will get percentage transfer is 12 into 5%. Okay, so these three problems are very important. So now we will move to last problem of this absorption, atomic absorption spectroscopy. So this problem says this problem actually came June 2009, and what it says observe the following aqueous solution of same compounds. All the measurements are made at same wavelengths and same temperatures. Means here the all measurements has been done at same temperature and wavelengths. Solution first means A, the transmissions of 0.1 molar concentration is using 1 centimeter cubate length path. Transmission is given is 0.5, and the optical density means absorption is given of 0.5 molar concentration is measured by using the 1 mm cell. Here the path length is 1 mm. And solution C, transmittance of this solution is 0.1. So you have to calculate the optical density means absorbance of this solution following order. So given data, log 20 is equal to 1.3010, and log 30 is equal to 1.4771, and log 50 is equal to 1.6990. so these are the options. So you have to calculate the order of absorption for all three solutions. So if you consider solution first, so what is it given data? Given transmittance is given 0.5, concentration is also given this, and path length is also given 1 centimeter. You have to you apply this formula. Absorption is equal to, because you have to calculate absorption, so absorption is equal to and transmittance is given. So because you can try this also formula into C into L, because here you don't have any idea about epsilon, this epsilon. That's why you should apply this formula, because you have already given transmitted. So absorption is equal to minus log of 10 base T, and minus log of 10 base T is given. Transmission is 0.5. so value of log of 0.5 is minus 0.3010. so you will get absorption is equal to 0.3010. Now similarly you can calculate the absorption for the solution B. Here the given data, C is given the concentration 0.5 molar, decimeter inverse, and length is given. So here is not given epsilon. So first you calculate the epsilon by using the data of solution A. So because already you have calculated absorption for the solution A, so first you calculate the extension coefficient of absorption coefficients. So epsilon absorption is equal to epsilon CL. So absorption is you have already calculated 0.301, and epsilon you have to calculate, and C is concentration is given for the solution for solution A. So you have to put concentration, you have to put path length using solution A data. So you will get easily epsilon's value 3.010 mole in 1 decimeter in 1 centimeter. So now you can calculate finally the absorption, because you will get you got the epsilon value. So now apply the epsilon CL. So put epsilon value and C value. Now you are calculating absorption for solution B. So now you have to put C and L value for solution B. So C is 0.5 molar decimeter and L given is how much? 1 mm. So 1 mm you convert centimeter to 0.1 centimeter you will get. Okay, so finally you will get, after calculating this and cancel all units, you will get this absorption is equal to 0.1530. okay, now you have to calculate the absorption for solution C. So given data is transmitted 0.1, so you can easily calculate absorptions is equal to minus log of T. So minus log of T is here, so log of 0.1 is equal to 1, so you will get 1. So order is for solution C is you get absorption 1. For solution B you get absorption 0.1, 0.15. For solution A you get this. So order is C for C solution is higher than solution A is higher than is equal to B. Okay, so this is the order. So now this is all about the problem of atomic absorption spectroscopy. Okay, now I will discuss a little bit about the second, atomic emission spectroscopy. So what is atomic emission spectroscopy? So it is basically the this is absorption process and this is emission process. First you excite the molecules, it goes excited state due to the gaining of higher energy, that's why it is in unstable. So for getting stability, it again come back to the ground state, so it lose some energy. Okay, so this process is known as emission. So here source emit the radiation at particular particle wavelength. Source emit the radiation at particular wavelengths for to determine the amount of emissions particles or intensity of the peak of given samples. What it means when a source radiations means at a particular wavelength excite the molecule, then you will get the information about the how much amount of your particle is excited. That excitation is indicate the intensity of peaks. Okay, so you will get the spectra intensity versus wavelength. So here if you see, here is lower wavelength, here is the higher wavelength. If you go left to right, so here you excited lower wavelength with higher energy, so you will get the emission at higher wavelength means lower energy. Okay, now we will move to second points. So what it said second points, so second point says this intensity peak tells us about the how much your sample composition having particle which excite to the excited state, also tells about the sample compounds. So it gives the information about if you will get the emission at a particular wavelength, then you will get the idea of which compositions or which compounds are present in your sample. Actually it is giving the means reference value or not. So here basically use the mercury lamp or some others lamp also we can use. So now I take the problem. So problem is what kinds of energy transition are involved in atomic emission expect. So first, outer electron transition, inert electron, and both A and B, outer or inner, and D none of these. So as I told, only the outer electron transition will take place, because the atom will lose electron from outermost shell, not innermost shell. So the option will be outer electron transition. Okay, now little bit I will give the information of this ICP or atomic emission spectrum. So ICP is basically the source. Here source is using plasma, and it is basically the inductively coupled plasma to produce the excited state atoms and ions that emit electronegativity radiation at wavelength characterized of the particular elements. So here basically this technique is very important, because this technique is here no high energy source is used. Here is plasma source is used. So through this technique we can determine the metal as well as non-metal elements. So it is very important. So plasma is a high temperature source, ionized source gas like argons. Argon gas is typically used to create plasma, and ICP AE is more better than that of atomic emission or absorption spectroscopy. So if we conclude all threes which I have read in last 3 lectures, so atomic absorption spectroscopy, atomic emission, and ICP AE. So atomic, what is the favorability of this, how much better atomic absorption spectroscopy. So here only you can determine the metals elements, but in case of this we can also determine metals but simultaneously determine the multi elements for the emission case. But in IPC, AES, metal always null metal you can determine. So this technique is better than of others, these two techniques. So for this is absorption spectroscopy, you will get the low quantum yields of your product, but here you will get medium, but you will get high quality of your product yields. Okay, so this is more better than others too. So here we took the problem. This problem came to December 2014. So what it here what is here asking? The gas commonly used in generating plasma in inductively coupled plasma atomic emission spectroscopy is here basically use argon. So thank you. So if you have any doubts, so please ask in my comment section box. I will try to give the solution. Okay, good night, bye bye, thank you.